What son was that?
Morning, everyone. We'll start our October 22nd meeting of the Economic Growth and Development Committee. Our first action is seeking approval of the September 21st meeting. Let's decide on making the floor. This is by Supervisor Casito and a second by Supervisor Wild. Any discussion, suggested edits, revisions? Call the question. All in favor of approving last month's meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Any public comment before we start our Workforce Development Department agenda? Seeing none, we'll go into that agenda. Liza speaking at the New York Association for Training and Employment Professionals. She's presenting, I saw her slides there, in advocacy of our county as always. She has one action agenda resolution request to amend the budget to receive some WIOA allocation in the amount of $620,024. In her absence, the county administrator is going to add any color that we might need.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. You see the breakdown. It's the adult, dislocated workers, youth, and then administrative. Eliza did note that this is $63,000 less than last year. So she still believes they're going to do the majority of the things that they have been doing. And just on a funding update, because you're all aware of the government shutdown and everything, there aren't any meetings scheduled currently that will result in any cuts to workforce development funding, to WIOA funding. So we don't know of any right now. It's possible that could occur as they go into negotiations, the Democrats and Republicans, to figure out what they're going to do about the government shutdown. And there may be follow-on cuts. So we just have to wait until that time to find out. New York Department of Labor can't provide any additional updated information on anything as well. So, you know, again, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with the government shutdown and when they go back to work, and then what negotiations they have to do. I think that's it concerning this. This is just to accept the funding.
So the request is to amend our budget to receive this 620. Does somebody want to make a motion? First by Supervisor Stroh and a second by Supervisor Wild. Any discussion?
My only question is, do we have any justification or reasoning why they reduced the funding? Or is this just across the board from the feds? And
It's been across the board. WIOA funding for the three counties, Saratoga County, Washington, and Warren. Just the total amount of money they got from last year was reduced.
just another comment, I'm just kind of surprised because we all struggle with workforce and having people staff our businesses and the like, and I'm just surprised that they're going about it that way. But we serve the county, we don't serve the federal government. Thank you.
Could be just the beginning.
I hope not.
Other discussion? I'll call the question. All in favor of approving resolution request A, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Going into general discussion, Liza reported there is no unemployment rate available from the state because they get some of their data from Bureau of Labor Statistics. 3 job fairs, 2 have happened. Each had about 110, 120 people, about 25 businesses, and the third one of the season will be at the YMCA a week from today, focused on healthcare.
I think that's it.
With that, any other discussion about workforce development before we go to planning and community development? Do that next. We have our co-department heads here today, and we have 7 resolution requests. 1 through 3 look pretty similar to one another. I'll describe each of those and maybe we could bundle them. Authorize number 1, a grant agreement with the Office of Parks, Recreation, Historic Preservation for Freight House restorations. This is the North Creek Station. 2 is to establish a capital project for that, and 3 is to appropriate the local share with that. Ethan or Sarah, do you want to some information?
Not much to say aside from it was a grant application we prepared in 2024, and now we're just moving through the process of accepting those funds, authorizing the agreement, and then we can proceed forward with, receiving the funds and doing the work. It's a roof replacement and doing some work on the siding. It's a great, awesome historic structure. So,
Is it on the National Register?
I believe it's on the state. I don't know if it's on the national.
And the local share is about 77,000, and that's already in a budget item, a line.
That was railroad reserves.
Somebody want to make a motion?
1 through 3.
1 through 3 by Supervisor Stroh. Is there a second for that? Supervisor Turner? Any discussion? So Mr. Supervisor Wild?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The railroad reserve, do we have any idea how much is in there?
I can't speak to that.
Yeah, we know, we'll find out.
Okay,
Other discussion? I'll call the question. In favor of approving 1 through 3, please say aye. Any opposed? That carries. Going to number 4, approving updates to the bylaws of the Lake Champlain, Lake George Regional Planning Board. There's a red line version in your packet. I was going to call on the county administrator as part of that organization if he wanted to describe any substantive changes in the bylaws.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There were not any significant changes, I think, that would apply to the board, with the exception of we placed some restrictions on executive director and, I'm sorry, the chair of the board, and how long they would serve, and it's to not serve consecutive terms going forward. So the current chair can serve for an additional year, and then there would be election of a different chair.
Somebody want to make a motion, bring this to the floor? Supervisor Presido on first. Supervisor Turner on the second. Before us is approving the bylaws, which we're required to do as one of the member counties as part of the planning board. Any discussion? Want a couple more minutes to look at them? I'll call the question. All in favor of approving request number 4, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries. Number 5, establish capital project H499 regarding the Lake Champlain lost my place, septic replacement in the amount of $111,000.
Yeah, sorry, this is a correction from last month's committee meeting. We had started the process of establishing the capital project. However, we just, in coordination with the treasurer's office and the granting agency, we fine-tuned the amount of it and clarified the pass-through process. So now we're just wanting to fund this at the full amount, or establish this capital project at the full amount. So that's septic replacements, 5 septic replacements, and then the remaining funding of that will be to cover our staff time to administer the DEC septic replacement program.
Okay. Typo, capital project 449, not 499.
Thank you.
Need a first and hopefully a second for.
Well, I'll make the motion. I have a question.
Sure. Motion by Supervisor Stroh and a second by Supervisor Cressida. I'll go straight to Supervisor Stroh for a question.
Is this part of the Lake Champlain basin program?
Yeah.
Other discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Well,
So we have only 5 replacements we can do this month?
That's with this source of funding, but the other $61,000 is supporting the administrative cost of doing the DEC program. They put out the DEC put out a press release earlier this year, and we haven't heard yet on how much funding Warren County is going to get, but we do have like a wait list of over 80 applications for septic replacements across the county.
And my follow-up is, how do we decide which ones are
Mm.
first to be done versus?
So we've, over the course of like, I think maybe 4 years now, we've established a pretty good process where people submit a preliminary application. And it is a first come, first served basis with the DEC program. And so we evaluate that, because there's such high demand, trying to parse through, certain degrees of, you know, from an administrative perspective and also from the perspective of continuing this program to expend money efficiently. Like we have one of the most successful septic replacement programs in New York State right now because we're able to move the money pretty quickly.
So do we have any income requirements?
No, we don't. But which is very fortunate though, is that the Lake George Association has recognized this issue. And they have established programs that allow for people that may have financial challenges replacing septics to work with their programs. I think they're using a Champlain Basin Program grant as well for that. So we coordinate with the LGA on that. We also, I think it was maybe previous month, we just approved our contract with an engineering firm to help us with our community development block grant septic replacement program. And that is targeted for low and moderate income households. So we definitely realize that the DEC program is not a great fit. It's about water quality. It's not necessarily about helping homeowners.
Mhm.
So they don't impose income restrictions on that one. So we've found alternative programs to assist homeowners.
Okay. Thank you.
Just Supervisor Casino.
So if you have a high income, you still qualify for it.
Yeah, for the DEC program.
DEC
Yeah, the
program.
DEC program is very much about water quality regardless of
Yeah.
who owns the system.
Yeah. That's good. I mean, so many of the properties are close to the lake and they're high income earners and. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? I'll call the question. All in favor of approving resolution request number 5, please say aye. Any opposed? That carries. Number 6, updated contract with NE Aquatics to reflect weekly rates. Go ahead, Ethan.
This is a formality that was flagged by our auditor. We had previously approved milfoil harvesting services as part of the Schroon Lake aquatic invasive species effort that we've been running with the assistance of Department of State funding. We just had to correct. They had filled out a daily rate instead of a weekly rate. And in order to actually pay their bills, we just had to correct where they should have put weekly, they put daily. And we've gone through the appropriate channels with purchasing to correct that, rescored all the, we actually caught this during the selection process, but it just didn't carry through. The contractor signed the wrong contract.
Somebody want to make a motion to bring that to the floor? First by Supervisor Turner, second by Supervisor Cressito. Any discussion on this?
I would just ask that it's subject to a little deeper legal review. We looked into it yesterday in more detail. The contractor didn't sign the wrong contract. He signed the contract that was provided based on the bid. So we just need to do a little more homework before we present this to the board, if the committee moves it forward.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Other discussion? Call the question. All in favor of approving number 6, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That carries into our last one. Request to create a new position of senior planner and delete vacant principal planner 2 position.
The purpose of this staff rearrangement is to account for a vacancy that we have in our department, Principal Planner 2, and then also to recognize the promotion of an existing staff member from junior planner to senior planner. Exemplary staff member who's been with us for over a year now, came to us with experience other parts of the state, well qualified for this. Like to, put them in this senior planner position, and that would leave us with a vacant junior planner position, which we will put out to hire so we can continue to, keep our department working. And then we delete the Principal Planner 2 position. We already have Principal Planner 1, with being filled by Sarah Bruger, doing another great job. And so this would actually result in savings, always important, budget season of approximately $18,000 reduced staffing costs
A year.
a year.
County Administrator.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to ask the committee to, in light of some information that just came to my attention, to table this request until further notice. I'll explain.
That would be helpful. It's,
We need executive session for this?
yeah, that might be,
Discuss it in a public forum.
yeah, that might be more, well, I won't speak as staff on that, but
Somebody
Well-
want to make a motion to go into executive session?
I'd like to learn more.
It would be an executive session under Public Officers Law, section 105(1) subparagraph F, to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person, as well as under subparagraph D, discussions regarding proposed, pending, or current litigation, and also under section 108(3), matters made confidential by federal or state law.
I have a first by Supervisor Wild.
I'd also like to include the two senior members of the planning department, if that's appropriate.
Second by Supervisor Cressida. Any discussion about entering executive session? I'll call the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're in executive session.